Hello, my name is Kelly Rowland, and today I'm going to discuss gender and sexuality in the United States. We know that all around the world there are different opinions and beliefs regarding gender and sexuality, but this is a brief overview of American expectations and policies. Today we're going to discuss how to maintain a safe space for students at Emporia State University. We know these topics may be uncomfortable for some of you, but it is important to know what will and will not be tolerated at Emporia State. We're going to start by looking at some common terms that are used to refer to both gender and sexuality here in the United States. This is often known as the LGBTQ community. This refers to gender and sexual identities that are not traditional. L stands for lesbian, which is a woman who's attracted to other women. G stands for gay, a man who's attracted to other men. B stands for bisexual, a person who is attracted to both men and women. T stands for transgender, a person who does not identify with the gender they were assigned at birth. Q stands for queer, a general term for someone whose gender or sexuality is not traditional. And the plus indicates that there are many other identities within this spectrum. Now, some of these terms may be new to you. Some of them may be familiar to you, but you don't agree with them. However, it's important to be familiar with these terms as they're very commonly seen in the media, politics, and even your classes here in the United States. In the United States, there is still controversy about both gender and sexuality, but legally there are certain protections in place to prevent discrimination. Discrimination is the unjust treatment of someone based on their identity, and it is illegal in the United States. Respect is an expectation for all students at Emporia State. It is okay if these ideas or topics make you uncomfortable. We understand that some of these identities may be new to you, and in some places, these identities may be outlawed entirely. In the United States, these identities are protected from discrimination. You are expected to be respectful to everyone regardless of their identity, and you should expect to be treated with respect regardless of your identity. Next, we'll look at gender in the United States. We know that around the world, different places have very strict ideas of gender based on perhaps cultural or religious background, but this is an idea of how gender is viewed in America. In many countries, there are clearly established roles for men and women in the community and in the home. In the United States, some people believe men and women have specific roles, but many people believe men and women are not different and should be treated equally in all circumstances. This includes at school, at work, in the community, in the home, and in romantic relationships. There is some controversy about gender in the United States, but again, there are legal protections to prevent discrimination. Regardless of what you believe, you are expected to treat all people with respect. It is illegal to discriminate against someone because of their gender. Next, we'll take a quick look at physical touch in the United States. Physical touch can include simple things like a pat on the back, a hug, a handshake, or a high five, or it can include more physical things such as holding hands, kissing, or intimacy between romantic partners. There are a lot of different expectations and perspectives when it comes to physical touch in the United States, but it is important to be sure you have a person's consent before touching them. Consent means to give permission. You should not touch anyone in any way unless you have their consent or their permission. This includes even a simple pat on the back, a hug, or a handshake. You may not be aware of what a person is comfortable with, so if you are unsure, it is better to ask. Meanwhile, you do not have to be touched if you do not want to be touched. You can respectfully decline offers of a hug, a handshake, or other physical contact by politely saying, "No, thank you," or "I would prefer not to." If you feel you are being treated unfairly because of your gender, sexuality, language, culture, race, or country of origin, there are resources on campus that can help you. If you are feeling depressed, bullied, or harassed because of your identity, you can go to the Student Wellness Center where they have counseling services available to students. You can join Pride. This is an RSO or a club on campus that offers support and education for people in the LGBTQ community. We also have Title IX, which is a service on campus that ensures that anti discrimination policies are being followed. There are other resources as well that can depend based on your specific circumstances. If you feel uncomfortable or unsafe, the Office of International Education will help guide you to appropriate resources on campus. We are committed to supporting our international students, and we will not tolerate discrimination at Emporia State. If you have questions, I encourage you to reach out to Office of International Education staff, your student ambassadors, or you can email oisa@emporia.edu.